Tonight on Geek Tank, the Conclave of Games.
And gaming etiquette.
Geek Tank.
Geek Tank.
Put your red shirt on and a brown coat too. Everybody's joining the crew. You got just one ring that'll rule them all. Hoopy fruit, remember your towel. Get your Uru hammers and your needler guns. A sonic screwdriver or a sword plus one. Use Valerian steel if it'll get you to come to the Geek Tank. To the Geek Tank, the Rocky Mountain Geek Tank.
Hi, I'm Guy,
Hi, I'm Troy.
and this is Geek Tank for September 5th, 2014. We've got a great show for you. Thanks for hanging out for our hiatus. We took, August off. But we're glad to be back, and we got a great show. But first, it's working for the Geekend.
Working for the Geekend. That's where you work for the rear end of a geek.
It happens.
Maybe not. So, not a lot of new movies coming out. The only one that I really felt inspired to mention was Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump, run, Forrest, run!
That movie's already come out. Yes, it has, but they're going to re-release it on IMAX in case you want to see Forrest Gump huge, like a giant box of chocolates.
Yeah, life is like a giant box of chocolates.
Like a giant
The question is, did they shoot it on IMAX?
I don't.
Can you do that?
They can.
They clearly did.
Wasn't it Steven Spielberg?
I guess.
I don't know. I don't remember who shot it.
Was it Steven Spielberg? Who shot Forrest Gump?
J.R.
J.R. shot Forrest Gump.
So
okay, back to working for the Geekend.
So I guess we'll go on to games. I'm a little disconcerted right now because I can hear myself, and I'm wondering if the audio is actually being recorded since I can hear myself. But maybe it's ghosts that are talking to me, saying what I'm saying, but 5 seconds after I say it. Speaking of ghosts, on September 5th, which I believe is today, you just said it was.
Yes.
Is Dead Rising 3 Apocalypse Edition for PC and Xbox One. PC, politically correct zombies.
Yeah, there you go.
Or I guess it's personal computer, not impersonal computers. Now, Dead Rising 3 has already been out. This is the Apocalypse Edition, which I guess they upgrade the graphics for Xbox One, and there's more downloadable content. I'm still stuck on Dead Rising 2.
Okay.
I beat 1, loved it. It's very similar to the Dawn of the Dead original Stuck in the Mall scenario. Finding zombies. And you can put on a giant Lego head and walk around with a giant Lego head.
There's nothing wrong with this plan.
That's right. But so
nobody attacks Lego men.
I'm kind of waiting to get all the way through Dead Rising 2 before I tackle 3 to see how that goes. And already came out September 2nd, Dance Central Spotlight. There's so many dancing games.
Yeah, there really is.
And this is for Xbox One, and I am assuming like many of the Xbox 360 dance games now, they use the Kinect. So you don't need to lay out the old mat. You used to play a lot of the old Dance Dance Revolution on the mat.
I did. I love that. I love that game.
I never played it with the mat.
Really?
Never played it.
Those mats were miserable. I liked when they made the one that was actually like metal and plastic frame. It was a frame box that you could actually step on.
Wow.
It was great.
Never
they had
saw
videos of people running it over with a car because it was so tough.
Dance, hit and run.
And dance, GTA 5.
Yeah, and then also my wife's excited about this one. I believe the Sims 4 came out. Big Sims fan.
I like Sims too.
I like 1, 2, and 3. So I like making the houses, but the actual playing of the game never quite hooks me.
Yeah.
But, well, so that's your news. Not much going on with that, and then I guess we'll roll on to
Book of the Geek.
Hi, I'm Mariah, and this is Book of the Geek. This week I'm going to focus on a couple of odd little gems that I've picked up. The first one is The Strange Files of Fremont Jones by Diane Day. The Strange Files of Fremont Jones is a mystery and not on the fantasy and science fiction shelves, which makes it amazing that I ever even looked at it. I think my mom pointed it out to me. It's the story of Fremont Jones, who's a young lady in Victorian-era America who decides to leave her family and take up a job as a typist in San Francisco. She discovers mysteries by typing up people's papers, including Edgar Allan Poe's. It's very interesting. There's no actual magic in the book or weird stuff, but it's so odd and interesting. The time period is so different that if you're a genre fan like me, you'd probably enjoy it. I especially enjoy the use of the word aubergine to describe a color that we'd probably call eggplant, except most people would actually probably call purple. The other story I'd like to talk about this week is one that I've had since I was a young girl. It's The Griffin and the Minor Canon by Frank Stockton and illustrated by Maurice Sendak. This is actually the copy I had when I was a little girl. There's a little brown stain right here. The Griffin and the Minor Canon was written in the 1800s, and then Maurice Sendak found it and decided to illustrate it sometime in the 60s. It's the story of a griffin who hears that there is a stone griffin on a church and decides that he has to come see it to see what he looks like. Then he befriends, kind of, the church official called a minor canon, and hijinks ensue. When I was a kid, I had no idea what a minor canon was, and I'm still kind of fuzzy on it, but I think it's a priest. The townspeople blame the minor canon for the griffin coming to their town and terrifying them, and so they send him away, and the griffin tries to take his place with hilarious results. This is a story that is probably appropriate for kids who are 10, 11, 12, or adults who enjoy classic children's literature like me. And that's all for today. Back to you, Guy and Troy. Don't get eaten by a griffin.
And we're back. So, we play role-playing games. And there's an etiquette to it. No beating on people.
Well,
No spitting.
Depends on the game.
That's true. So, the whole thing here we're going to talk about is RPG etiquette.
You're supposed to announce you're firing before you fire. So
I'm going to fire. You're fired.
You're fired.
I try to let down as gently as possible.
So I guess the big thing is, I don't know if as a gamer, if any of you out there have come across this, but you're sitting there and you might invite a new person into the game, or maybe you go to a game for the first time and you're not invited back and you're wondering, why was I invited back? Well, maybe it's because you did something like you brought a 12-pack of Mountain Dews and drank every single one of them in front of everybody without offering one. It's a good idea to, if you're going to a party of any type, to ask the host, which most cases I found is usually the game master who's running the role-playing game. Not always. But
Not
sometimes.
always, but sometimes.
It's nice to ask them, can I bring anything, like a bag of chips or some soda or something? And then this way, when they say yes and you bring it, you know that you're contributing to a larger pool of stuff. And that. Or you could say, is it a bring your own food and you eat what you bring and you don't share? So it's good to know these things ahead of time.
Yeah.
And clean up after yourself.
We sort of do a mishmash in our games. Little of both.
Little of both. Some people bring stuff that they hoard, and then, like, I don't share my Starbucks coffee I bring because nobody wants my saliva.
Yeah.
And but I do tend to bring.
I just test it.
Yeah.
It's really fun. We do experiments.
It's prone to fire.
Yeah, it is. So, yeah, I mean, these are all like, this sounds kind of like normal party etiquette.
It's very party. You should learn a little party etiquette, especially if you've never been to a role-playing game of that. Know that party etiquette applies. And if you're the host, if you're the GM, it's a good idea to double-check with everyone you're inviting that they are on the same page that you are. But there's also an etiquette that extends beyond the party etiquette.
Right. There's some etiquette that it goes for actually being in the game. Like, stay in character during
For
the game.
example, if we were playing a role-playing game and Guy was a thief and I was a paladin and he's talking to the GM attempting to steal something, he's in character as a thief describing what he's doing to the GM.
I sneak into the area. and
He's good at sneaking because he does that all the time.
I always do it. And
See, I'm breaking character now. Some people don't like that. That messes it up.
yeah, it ruins the effect. It's like a movie when somebody turns the camera and says, "This is a movie."
Yep.
It just ruins everything.
And it kind of
So-
depends on the group, because sometimes groups like to do that. And the question is to know your boundaries.
Right.
As to what point are you keeping the game from moving forward, and at what point are you actually being entertaining and funny and not interrupting the game.
Yes, exactly. Another one that I noticed is don't be wallflowers. There's so many people who play games that just sit there the entire game.
If that's your character, make the other players aware of it, that your
Yeah.
character is a person of no words and few actions.
Sometimes characters are like that.
And if you're going to play a jerk in a game, this is really important that you check with everyone ahead of time and say, look, I'm really a nice guy in real life, even if you're lying. You know, you could just say that. The character I'm playing is a total male chauvinist pig jerk, and he's going to hit on every character in this group that's female. And if you're a male person playing a female character, well, I'm going to hit on you too, because my character perceives you as a female. Do you have a problem with that? Because I don't want to get in the middle of the game and start role-playing into my character and make you feel uncomfortable. So I'd like to check with you first.
Sometimes it's always good to have a buddy in that one. For instance, in the last game, he really did play a character just like that, and I played a female. And he hit on me, which made it very funny and lightened the mood. Because clearly, him hitting on me is entertaining and twisted to begin with.
Yes.
So,
And
that all worked.
for the record, my character is based off of Barney from How I Met Your Mother, for those of you that know that. What if Barney worked as a diplomat for Federation?
Yeah, for
Starfleet?
Federation.
So-
So, yeah, that one's a good one. Ask questions is another good one. You know, hey, you don't know how the game system works? That's not a sin. You know, I'd rather, as a GM, I'd rather you ask me questions than not.
If you can get there before the game and ask, that's great. Try to do your research, know your character, at least know what you can do, and don't slow up the game by saying, how does this power work again? Can you describe it to me in great detail with all the math involved?
Yeah. I think all the two most important things, though, is this is a game. Have fun. And keep all the personal stuff outside. I hate you, Troy,
Yeah.
but now we're going to game, so I like you, Troy.
But now we're going to
because
do a
my
show,
character-
so I like you, guy.
Yeah, that's the way we do this every
Every time.
So that's pretty good.
Communication.
pointers. Communication.
The secret to everything.
Yes.
Well, there you go. Gamer
af-
etiquette.
Yeah. More after this.
In 1752, Benjamin Franklin flew a kite into a storm. He was testing a theory that lightning was normal electricity. I wonder if Franklin also developed a phobia of thunder afterwards.
Geek Tank.
And we're back.
Again!
Again. We keep coming back.
Well, can't stop us.
It's like you just can't get rid of us. So we went to Conclave of Gamers. Conclave of Games. Conclave of something.
Conclave of Gamers.
Gamers. And it was a really great experience. It was created by a
Chad
guy, Chad
Uecker.
Uecker. And we have an interview with him. Watch this.
Troy with Rocky Mountain Geek Tank here with Chad Uecker, con director for Conclave of Gamers. Hi, Chad.
Hey, Geek Tank, how you doing?
Doing good. We're on the last day, Sunday, wrapping up the third annual Conclave.
Yes, and it's been great.
What were some of the highlights for you this con?
The highlights for me was just the turnout, because this is the first time we decided to go from just a little local con and to try to branch out into something bigger, because it just started with a few game groups who we just enjoyed playing together, and it was like, let's just have a weekend where we can do more gaming and play whatever we want. And we had more people last year start coming to us and go, can we join too? This looks like fun. And so I thought, well, let's see how big we can make this then. And because part of what I'm trying to do is bring all the geeks together in Denver. And Colorado has this amazing geek culture and gamers, and yet on some level, some of us are kind of disjointed. We got groups here and there, and I want to bring all them together and go,
I can get right on board with that, because we're all about bringing the geek community together and saying, hey, look at this cool thing you might not know about. This might become the next big thing that you love.
Right, absolutely, and there's amazing stuff that happens in Denver, and I want word to get out about all of them. The things that always stay the same is we're mainly open, so even though we have scheduled gaming, you're always allowed to just come in, bring in any game you want, and try to get people to play with you. So it also means you can just, however you feel that day, because sometimes there's days I don't want to play certain games, and since I'm not locked into a schedule, I can just decide, hey, today this looks fun, or I can even walk around the room and go, I haven't even heard of this game, it looks cool, can you teach it to me? And so we'll also always have the library there. Next year we will have Puffing Billy again, so if you like train games, any type of train games, we'll have that tournament. We always have a Settlers of Catan tournament. One of our big hits every year that's a riot is we have a Loop and Louie tournament. And for those who've never seen Loop and Louie, it's a game for 4-year-olds and up. That's a little dexterity game where a plane just flies around, it's battery operated, and tries to knock your chickens off, and you got to protect your chickens. And it is so funny to see 30 and 40-year-old people get in line, acting like little kids. I'm next. Woohoo! It's my turn. And when they get knocked out, they get to the back of the line again. They're always talking like, "Here's what you got to do. Here's the trick." And they like share it like it's some deep strategy to a game that's for 4-year-olds and up, and they get so excited. And it's fun to see all these people who will play heavy games all of a sudden turn into little kids as they play a game of Loop and Louie. Hey, we all need time to just be little kids again.
So that was interesting.
Neat guy.
He is. Yeah, he was a really nice guy.
So
their entire staff was really nice.
Yes, thank you very much to all the yellow shirts,
Yeah.
and all the green shirts, all the volunteers, and all the people that made that possible, the ones behind the scenes.
It was really nice.
I'm glad we were there to cover it. It deserves being covered. And Dave contributed much of the gift prize, gift cards here, gift certificates for winners of the tournaments. Tell me about Time Well Spent, please.
Yeah, I started this company in 2003, and so we've been doing it over 10 years. It's an online retail store, so you can go to my website at timewellspentgames.com, and you can order online, and we ship all over the country and the world. The great thing about the Denver people is they can, there's an option to pick up in my warehouse, and they can come and browse there as well because it's pretty well organized, and we just place the order right there and get you all checked out. So I love this con as well. That's why I support it, because it's open gaming and a lot of the gaming that I sell. So I like to support this kind of convention.
I appreciate him giving the gift certificates to the...
And their cards were magnets, so guess where mine lives now, is on my fridge. Such a brilliant idea, actually. I don't know why.
Right next to all your credit cards.
All my credit cards, where I erased them all.
So there were lots of games there, played lots of stuff, lots of game designers and stuff. But the one I want to mention this time around, we do eventually want to cover them all in other shows, was a guy who just moved here. He created lots of games. He's with Evil Beagles, and the game he brought was Shinetar, which is based kind of in the Savage Worlds universe. I am here with Shawn Patrick Fannon, game designer extraordinaire.
Hi everybody, glad to be here. We just got moved here not even 2 weeks, like a week and a half ago. And already we're diving headlong into gaming and hanging out with Denver area geekdom and loving it. Shinetar is a epic high fantasy setting for Savage Worlds. It's actually been around for a little while, but in the current iteration, it's only been out for about a year and a half, 2 years, and it's really starting to take off. Plenty of dark fantasy out there, and I've been working on Shinetar for a long time, so I really wanted to promote it as more of a cinematic adventure fantasy. The tagline is, it's like Lord of the Rings meets Die Hard. And one of the things I tell everybody, it's not killing for kobolds for copper pieces, you were meant for finer, greater things. And I think today we've kind of proven that out. There's been so many people who have responded so beautifully to this. The idea of being heroes in a heroic world that responds to your more cinematic adventure desires, as opposed to your, I just want to kill things and take their money so I can buy bigger things.
I got a chance to play in the game tonight, and I believe the Shawn you mentioned is the one who was the GM for the game.
Shawn.
His name, Shawn? And
partner.
let's bring him on.
How's it going, guys?
Hi, going well. Thank you for running the game. It was a fantastic game.
Happy to. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
It's much fun. So, as a collaborative team on this, what's been the most exciting aspect that you've been tackling this together as a team?
Well, first off, the response has just been wow, right?
Oh, yeah, no kidding. I mean, I could not imagine. I mean, the last time we got together was Genghis Khan, and we had one session that did similar, but not all of them. This has been absolutely amazing to have this many tables just explode for us. It's been great.
And it's been viral, too. Like, 1 or 2 people were originally interested when I first got here, and then other people sat down, and now they keep coming back, and they keep bringing friends, and more people are hearing about it. So it's exactly the kind of organic growth that I'm hoping for. But one of the things I think they're responding to is this Justice in Life thing that we've got going on, which is the fact that they're being told by the guy who wrote the stuff and owns the world that they get to live in it canonically. The idea is that people can come into the world and live in that world, and instead of like a living campaign of typical nature where you chase the modules that everybody else is playing, and really at the end of the day the only reality you can claim is your own amongst your own friends. This is, as far as you want to go with it, you can invest completely and very easily say, you know, this is my character, you did this story in the world that Shawn is publishing. No one's ever done that before. So everybody who sat down at this convention, including yourself, now has a character living, breathing in the world that I'm publishing. Not some side world that isn't real. It's the actual published world. Denver, we are very happy to call you home for Evil Beagle Games, which will be now Evil Beagle Games LLC. We are taking it to the top. We are absolutely, sky's the limit for us. We love Denver. We moved here because it is a mecca for creativity. It is a mecca for geekdom and gamery. I'm looking forward to being a part of the community that you are here helping to build. The best place I would have to say is www.shinetar.com if you want to find out more about Shinetar. There's a lot of activity there on the forums and everything else. And I'm open to be friends with anybody. Shawn Patrick Fannon on Facebook. Friend me and let's talk.
Well, great. Thank you so much for your time, Shawn, and thank you so much for your time, Shawn, and thank you so much for your time, Shawn. Oh wait, your name's not Shawn.
Okay. So we didn't just do these interviews. I mean, we did all kinds of weird stuff. Like, for instance, blindfolded Crocono? Blindfolded Crocono. Hard to say. Watch this.
Kevin and I are going to play Crocono with the lack of vision to be able to see when we actually make our shots. And he gets a frickin' bullseye. You're kidding. Really? I've been playing this my world. I'm hoping that becomes a thing. I'm hoping that because Crocono is huge in Canada, and it's sort of catching on here in America. So hopefully, I've invented now blindfolded Crocono. And then we got to meet some other interesting guys. I met the guy who makes tabletop props.
Yeah. We met the guy who made tabletop props.
Met the guy who made this.
Yeah, I win. 16 whole cards. Love that game.
Very fun game. So definitely check on our YouTube channel for other bits and more coverage of all of this.
Yeah, we're going to cover it all.
Right.
And
back after
more
this.
after this. And we're back.
Yeah. Also like to do a shout out to Crystal Spider. Whoops, hang on.
Yep.
Crystal, if you look them up,
Spider.
it's crystalspidermtg.com, and it was by Benjamin and Donna. They're a lovely couple.
Yeah.
And they buy games as well as sell games, so they sell used games, and I told them their motto should be that they can find any game that you want to find, because they find stuff that doesn't exist.
Yeah. They were awesome.
Amazing people.
Great people.
Everybody we met there.
Yeah. Also, we had, of course, Fred Petray from Cloven Fruit Games. We've interviewed him here. And we had Eric Isaac of Clever Quick Games, who did this game here, I Win, which is 16 cards, but it's a wonderful game. And Zen Paths was there as well.
They made
Interactive.
They made a video game.
So we got all these great creators that were there. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was a blast, and thank you, Chad, for having us come there.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Looking forward to next year.
Okay, more after this.
Someone emailed us.
Lots of someone's. I got 4 of them here.
So they're like sending us praise and statements of awesomeness.
They're actually asking questions.
Questions. This gives me an idea. I've been practicing something, working on my dice rolling technique, and I've discovered, with my research such as casting bones and reading tea leaves, I can actually come up with answers.
Now.
Ahead of time.
Really?
Watch.
Okay, I haven't opened it yet.
Mars rover. What's the question? Open it up and read it.
Okay. Comes from Carl in Olympus, Washington. He asks, how would you best describe a chocolate lab?
Let's do another.
Okay.
Leg. No. Break a leg.
Break a leg.
Open one up.
Okay, hang on. Comes from Henry in Jonesville, Indiana, who asks, what advice did Callista Flockhart give Harrison Ford before he left to film Star Wars?
It's the dice. I'm telling you, man. Let's do another. I'm on a roll.
Okay.
I'm on a roll.
Okay. Hey.
Open-ended 6-sider. Wonder Woman.
Okay. Diana from Athens, Georgia asks, what would be a good nickname for an inquisitive girl?
I could see that.
Yeah. Okay, this is the last email, though. I mean, we just got one more.
One more. The Walking Dead.
Okay. Rick in Cynthiana, Kentucky asks, describe the third day of a convention.
Yeah.
Oh, wait! I just got one more. Okay, roll it again.
I can do it. Spacebar : asterisk.
Spacebar : asterisk. Okay. Tina in Can, Arkansas asks, name 3 places Greedo was shot.
We need people to send us more questions.
Yeah, you got questions? Ask it. Yeah. So yeah, you didn't know we had an email, did you? We've got questions at RockyMountainGeekTank.com.
I'm looking forward to perfecting this technique.
It's a good technique. I'm kind of amazed by that.
Your mom. Figured we'll just add it up.
Hi, I'm Josh the Treasure Hunter.
And I'm Chris, the Keeper of the Catacomb.
And we're the hosts of Collector's Catacomb.
Check us out here.
And here.
And here.
It is our goal to share the knowledge and information that we have with you.
And to strike a passion for something cool, rare, unusual, or even common.
We hope to see you soon.
Here.
It's bigger on the inside.
Oh, and we're back. That was pretty cool.
That was.
I was playing, so I wasn't paying much attention. Join us next week when we cover our Sealed Deck Magic mini tournament that we did in-house, just 4 of us. What are you covering?
And we'll also be covering the Kane EM drive. That's been hitting my email boxes a lot.
Guess what?
What?
I win.
Hi there. It's expensive making Geek Tank week after week, but we love it. Do you want to pledge your support and help us? Of course you do. Go to patreon.com/Geek Tank and pledge your support today. That's patreon.com/geektank. Thank you.